Have you ever felt like the world is just kind of happening to you?
Mm.
Like you're just a passenger, maybe feeling overwhelmed or like our sources say, just renting space in someone else's idea of reality.
Yeah, that phrase really lands, doesn't it?
It really does. Well, if that sounds familiar, get ready. Today we're doing a deep dive into something called the forge of reality.
It's a fascinating concept.
Totally. It's based
Mm.
on this really powerful manifesto and a set of aphorisms, and they challenge us fundamentally to rethink how we interact with the world.
It's very proactive.
Exactly. Our sources are this manifesto-style essay and really distilled aphorisms, all focused on taking a proactive stance on existence.
Right.
So our mission today, it's basically to unpack this core idea that reality isn't something you just find, it's something you actively create.
That you forge.
That you forge.
Yeah.
And we want to explore the tools, the mindset you need to, well, shape your world instead of just living in it. Think of it as a shortcut to understanding how you can be a good ancestor, by forging a reality with intention. I have to say, this whole idea of forging reality, it feels huge, like both daunting but also incredibly empowering, especially now with everything feeling so, well, saturated with spectacle, like the sources say.
It really does. And what's so interesting is how these texts weave together different strands of thought. You've got existentialism in there.
Definitely.
Creative evolution, this strong sense of moral rebellion, even practical systems thinking.
It's quite a mix.
It is. It's a rich blend, and I think it really promises some aha moments for anyone who's ever felt that pull to build something, something real that reflects what they truly believe.
Okay, so let's jump right in. The absolute core of this, the revolutionary act, is this statement. Reality is not found, it is forged.
Just sit with that for a second.
Right. It completely flips the script on how most of us probably think about our place in the world. It's saying we're not just watchers.
Absolutely not. It implies this fundamental shift, doesn't it? From just sort of passively observing to what the text calls the courageous birth of what could be.
Courageous birth. I like
Yeah. So instead of just living in a world someone else designed, their rules, their expectations, you're called to actually make it.
Like that contrast you mentioned earlier about renting space versus...
Exactly. Versus renting space in someone else's world. It's such a powerful image. Like living in a house someone else built, sure, you can rearrange the furniture, but the foundations are set.
You can't change the structure.
Right. Forging your reality is about building your own house, your own world from the ground up.
And the manifesto doesn't just leave it there. It actually spells out the ingredients for this forging process. It says reality is made from the heat of our contradictions, the gravity of our commitments, and the sharp edge of praxis.
Praxis, that's a key term.
Yeah, praxis. It means basically putting theory into practice, action, turning belief into something real.
So it's not just thinking about it.
Definitely not. This isn't some lofty, abstract idea. It's about, getting your hands dirty, real-world consequences.
Precisely. And the sources explain that the real is, well, it's what survives the fire of testing, the solitude of disillusionment, and the feedback of the world.
Okay, so it has to stand up to scrutiny.
It does. It is what emerges when belief confronts consequence. So you can't just believe something strongly. You have to test it, put it out there, see what happens.
Like an entrepreneur with an idea.
Perfect example. The idea is just belief until it hits the market, right? Faces customers, investors. The real business is what survives all that, what adapts.
But it really makes you think. Where in your life, listening now, are you just observing, just accepting things, versus, actively picking up the hammer and forging something new?
That's the challenge.
It is. And it connects perfectly to aphorism 1, which sums it up so well. The world is not found. It is made in the heat between conviction and act.
That heat.
Yeah, that heat. It's not just hard work, is it? It's the friction, the energy, that space where your inner belief actually meets the outer world and starts to change it.
That's where the magic happens, so to speak.
That's where the forging happens.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're going to forge reality, what tools do we need? The sources give us 3 essentials: conviction, courage, and imagination. Let's start with conviction.
Yeah.
The manifesto calls it our inner architecture. But, and this is important, it makes a clear distinction between conviction and dogma.
That's crucial. Conviction, as it's explained here, is that inner architecture built not from inherited scripts, but from conscious struggle, intimate reflection, and ethical confrontation.
So not just stuff you're told to believe.
Exactly. It's deeply personal. So it's something you wrestle with. And it's described as not rigid, but rooted. Think of like a tree, deep roots, but flexible branches. And the really vital part, what we grow, we must be brave enough to test. You can't just hold it internally. You have to see if it holds up out there.
That makes sense, because dogma, well, aphorism 8 nails it. Dogma is conviction ossified, keep the forge hot.
Ossified, turn to bone, rigid.
Yeah. What happens when our beliefs get like that? Brittle, untested, we stop questioning them. They become like museum pieces.
Yeah.
Right. Interesting, maybe, but useless for actual living.
And they actually block the forging process. If your convictions are ossified, you're stuck using old blueprints, not adapting to what's actually happening.
Right. You can't build anything new.
So it really invites you, the listener, to think, where do my convictions come from? Are they just inherited? Or are they self-forged, tested in that heat?
Okay, tool number 2, and this one is courage. The link between conviction and action. The sources are really clear. Without courage, conviction is merely fantasy. And without risk, reality cannot be born.
It's a direct call, isn't it? Belief without action is just inert, static.
It is. How does the manifesto define courage here?
Okay. It says courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to act while afraid, to move without guarantee.
Acting while afraid.
Okay. Yeah. It's the bridge. It's what bridges belief and embodiment. That moment you step out, trusting your conviction, even if you're terrified.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about maybe an activist who deeply believes in a cause. Courage is overcoming the fear of backlash, the fear of failure, and actually speaking out, organizing, taking that stand.
Got it. And aphorism 3 captures this perfectly. Conviction is the hammer. Courage is the strike.
Simple, but powerful.
It really is. You need both. The best hammer is useless if you don't swing it. Nothing gets built.
Exactly. And then there's aphorism 7, which adds another layer. Fear is the gatekeeper of transformation. Courage is not its absence, but its refusal to kneel.
Oh, I like that. Fear isn't the enemy.
No, it's a test. It's part of the process. It guards the gate to change. Courage is acknowledging that fear, that gatekeeper, but choosing to walk through anyway, not letting it paralyze you.
So maybe ask yourself, what fears are acting as gatekeepers for you right now? What's holding you back from acting on what you believe?
That's the question.
Okay, on to the third tool, which might seem a little unexpected in a forge. Imagination.
Right. Seems almost fluffy, but it's not.
No, the sources insist imagination here is not escape. It's much more practical.
It's presented as a moral faculty, which is fascinating.
What does that mean, a moral faculty?
It means it's not just about dreaming things up. It's the ability to see a world that does not yet exist and to live as though it could.
Okay.
It's framed as the rebellion of the possible against the tyranny of the probable. It's about envisioning something better, something beyond just what seems likely or inevitable, and doing it with an ethical compass.
So it's guided.
Guided, exactly. Think of architects designing a sustainable city even when current practices resist it. That's imagination as a moral faculty pushing for a better possibility.
And aphorism 6 makes it super practical. Imagination is not escape, it is blueprint.
Blueprint. That's the key.
Yeah, it's the plan. It gives you the vision for what you're actually trying to build in the forge. Makes the goal tangible.
So the invitation here is, what divergent futures that dignify life, as the text says, are you imagining? For yourself, your community. Because those visions are the blueprints for reality.
All right. So we have the act of forging, we have the tools, conviction, courage, imagination. But here's another crucial piece. This doesn't happen alone in a vacuum, does it?
Not at all. The sources really push back on the idea of the solitary forger. They state flatly, reality is dialogic.
Dialogic, meaning?
Meaning it's shaped through interaction, through conversation. It's shaped by friction, by dialogue, by the call and response between the self and the other.
So talking about it, testing ideas with others, is part of the forging.
Essential. There's a really sharp line in the manifesto. If your truth cannot survive a conversation, it was not truth, it was comfort.
Oof, that's direct.
It is. It means your convictions need to be strong enough to handle challenge, questioning different perspectives. Like a scientific hypothesis, it only becomes accepted truth after rigorous peer review and debate.
And the imagery they use is great. Community, critique, and communion are the whetstones of the real.
Whetstones. Perfect.
Right. You sharpen a blade on a whetstone. You sharpen your ideas, your reality, through engaging with others. Debate. Shared experience.
And aphorism 12 finds the balance. Solitude sharpens. Community tempers.
Ah, so you need both.
Yes, you need that quiet time for reflection, for deepening conviction. But you also need the community to test it, refine it, make it durable, temper it like steel.
So how do you, the listener, allow your beliefs to be sharpened and tempered? Through conversation, through community.
It's worth considering.
Definitely. But okay, it's not just about beliefs and conversations. It has to go further, right? Into systems.
Absolutely. The manifesto warns, no matter how luminous our convictions, if they remain disembodied, if they do not transmute into structures, they will dissolve in the waters of entropy.
Entropy, that tendency for things to fall apart if you don't maintain them.
Exactly. So if your brilliant ideas, your strong convictions don't get built into something tangible, a structure, a system, they'll just fade away.
How do we build them into structures? What does that look like?
The text gives examples. In art, in code, in policy, in gardens, in gatherings.
Okay, so concrete things.
Concrete things. And these creations must be durable, iterative living. That's how new worlds root. You take your internal forge and make something external, something lasting that others can interact with.
This feels really empowering when we think about the systems we already live in. Aphorism 14 says, every system we inherit is a hypothesis.
I love that framing.
Me too. The forge tests, alters, or melts it down. It means we don't have to just accept the status quo, whether it's a work process, a community rule, even our own habits.
You can see them as hypotheses to be tested.
And changed. We have agency.
And Aphorism 9 adds another critical layer. Rebellion is not noise. It is architecture.
So it's not just complaining or tearing down.
No, it's constructive. It's about building something better in its place. A structure that reflects those forged convictions. Maybe something more just, more sustainable.
So think about it. Is there a system, big or small, that you could start testing, altering, maybe even rebuilding based on your convictions?
A powerful question.
Okay, we've talked about the what, the how, the where, but the journey. It's not always smooth sailing, is it? The manifesto is up front. Still, there will be failure.
Yeah, it doesn't shy away from that. But failure isn't the end. It's part of the process.
Necessary, even.
Seems like it. Aphorism 10 says, no truth lives until tested in the world. Even gods must walk among dust.
Wow, even gods.
Right. It emphasizes that need for real-world application for resilience. Failure isn't a stop sign. It's feedback. Invaluable data for the next attempt in the forge.
Tells you what needs adjusting.
Exactly, what needs refining.
And there's this other implication from Aphorism 11 that really struck me. To forge what is real is to court exile, but to belong to the world in a deeper way.
That sounds paradoxical.
It does, doesn't it? But I think it means having the courage to stand apart, to build something authentic, might initially isolate you from the mainstream.
Right, you might step outside the norms.
But in doing that, in creating something genuinely yours, you actually connect to the world, the real world you're building, on a much deeper level.
That makes sense. And this connects to finding deeper meaning in the struggle itself. Aphorism 17. You are not only what you endure, you are what you build from the endurance.
Turning hardship into creation.
Yes. Taking the tough stuff, the raw material of experience, and shaping it into something meaningful, something durable. Grit becomes architecture.
And the scope of this building, it's not just personal, is it? Aphorism 16 is huge. A forged reality must echo not only your soul, but the songs of the unborn and the earth beneath.
That speaks to legacy.
Totally. And responsibility, interconnectedness, building something that serves beyond just ourselves, something for the future, for the planet.
So what legacy are you building, or hoping to build, with your own forge?
It's a big question.
It is. And ultimately, this all points to the fact that forging isn't a project with an end date, it's ongoing.
Always happening.
Always. Aphorism 20 puts it beautifully. The real is not behind us in myth. It is ahead, unfinished, calling your hand.
Calling your hand.
Yeah. It's a continuous journey. Personal agency, ethical choices, constantly testing, refining. The forge is always lit.
What a powerful exploration this has been. We've really dug into the forge of reality, this idea that we have the power to actively forge our world.
Not just inherit it.
Right. It's about using those tools, conviction, courage, imagination, engaging in dialogue and community, and crucially, turning beliefs into actual structures, into systems.
Owning your tools. Building something real.
Building a world, or even just a piece of it that truly reflects your deepest self, your highest ideals. It's quite the call to action.
It is.
So building on that final image, the real is ahead, unfinished, calling your hand. I want to leave everyone listening with this thought. What's one small, maybe, but courageous act you could take this week?
Just one thing.
Yeah, one thing to test a conviction, to start forging just a small piece of the world you imagine. What could that be for you?
That's a fantastic practical challenge. We really hope you'll keep exploring these ideas, maybe revisit the aphorisms, see how they spark things for you on your own journey of building.